Will you apologize for those remarks that you've made?
Of course not.
You should be ashamed, you should resign, and if you refuse, Congress should remove you from office.
That this president is mentally unstable. Should President Trump fail a mental fitness test?
You should resign and allow someone with real qualifications to run this agency.
This hearing just made history. Democrats came for Kennedy with everything: impeachment articles, the 25th Amendment, resignation demands. This is what happened. The House Education and Workforce Committee called RFK Jr. to testify on his HHS budget. It was supposed to be about healthcare spending. It turned into something else entirely. One by one, Democrats used their 5 minutes to attack, not just the budget, Kennedy himself. Watch what they brought. Oregon Congresswoman Bonamici starts with a question about children.
Does all Americans include children?
Of course.
Then she goes somewhere he didn't expect.
How does it enhance the health and well-being of children to spend HHS's limited resources and taxpayer money on a video of yourself drinking milk in a hot tub with Kid Rock? And how much did it cost to prepare and produce this video?
Congresswoman, I was asked to cut costs across my department because we have a $39 trillion debt.
I understand, Mr. Secretary. How much did it cost to produce this video?
I want to correct something that you said.
I'm asking how much did it cost to produce
I would have
this
no
video?
idea.
She wasn't done.
Well, I'll tell you
would have
that
no
that
idea.
money, whatever it cost, I consider waste, fraud, and abuse. And that's money that should have been invested in our nation's children and spent on something like healthcare and childcare that actually improve people's lives. You know, the
Actually,
return,
you know,
the
so many
return-
people have come up to me who saw that video and say, that inspired me to
Mr.
work
Secretary,
out. That's one of the things that we want to do in
the
this
return
department.
on investment that we get from early childhood education shows that for every dollar we spend, we get back somewhere between $4 and $16.
Then she dropped the final line.
And to truly make America healthy again, you should resign and allow someone with real qualifications to run this agency.
First resignation call of the day. It wouldn't be the last. That was just the opening round. The next Democrat didn't attack Kennedy's spending. He attacked the president's mind. California Congressman Takano didn't ask about health care. He asked about the president's mental health.
Mr. Secretary, you are the nation's top health official. And I want to talk to you today about the president's mental health.
Then he read the president's posts out loud, on the record.
Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the fucking strait, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. An American president used the F word in a Sunday morning message that was seen by millions of people. Mr. Secretary, does this raise concerns for you about the president's mental health?
The president is a bargainer, and he knows how to make good deals.
Takano kept pushing.
A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. Mr. Secretary, the Commander-in-Chief of the United States military is calling for the eradication of an entire civilization. And 5 days later, the president started posting on Truth Social at 9 p.m. at night, continuing until 5 a.m. the next morning, and included an unhinged attack on Pope Leo, claiming then, later that day, the next day, President Trump posted this image of himself as Jesus Christ.
Then he went nuclear.
Will you insist that President Trump undergo an assessment of his mental fitness and his emotional stability?
Absolutely not.
Under the 25th Amendment, you have a duty to remove a president who is physically or mentally unable to discharge his responsibilities under the Constitution. It's your duty. Mr. Secretary, we can all see that this president is mentally unstable, emotionally unstable, and is unfit to lead this country.
The chairman tried to move on.
Need the fundraising video.
Mr. Chairman, I
think questions.
The gentleman's time has
Thank you.
expired and been yielded, and I can ask the second grade classes to turn in again at this point. I'd hesitate to say something about the 25th Amendment with the last president. There was no concern there from the other side.
Kennedy sat through all of this, but he didn't just sit there. His counterattacks are in part 2. We'll get to that, but first, it got personal. Georgia Congresswoman McBath lost her son Jordan to gun violence. He was 17.
But when you were asked if gun violence was a public health crisis during your Senate confirmation hearing last year, you answered with a succinct no. My son Jordan Davis was murdered in a shooting at just 17 years of age. Simple answer, yes or no. Do you believe that gun violence is an epidemic or a public health crisis?
I would say it's an epidemic. I think it's a law enforcement issue and not public health.
Watch what she does next.
Say that. So can you tell me how many children were killed by fluoride toxicity in my home state of Georgia in 2024?
Fluoride toxicity? Probably none.
You're right. The answer is absolutely zero. So can you tell me how many children were
fluoride
killed by
doesn't kill you.
fluoride across the country in 2024?
Fluoride doesn't kill you. That's an absurd question.
Again, how about by firearms? Can you tell me how many kids were killed in shootings across the country in 2024? 3,865, over 10 a day. That's more than drownings, more than car accidents, more than cancer, and certainly more than fluoride.
Then she shifted to autism.
You said, and I'm quoting, autism destroys families, that these are kids who will never pay taxes, never hold a job, never play baseball, never write a poem, or go out on a date. I'm asking you here today, Secretary, to apologize for spreading lies about people with autism and their families. Will you apologize for those remarks that you've made?
Of course not. I was talking about people with profound autism, not people who are, who have lower impact autism. I'm talking about people who are nonverbal, non-toilet trained, head banging, stimming, toe walking.
Okay, then since you're
hundreds and hundreds of people have written me letters thanking
what
me
you really
for
meant,
those comments.
since you're explaining what you really meant, can you apologize to the thousands of families that do not believe what you're just telling us now?
No, because if you look at my
You
comments,
refuse
it
to
was clear
apologize.
who I was
I find that
talking
very,
about.
very sad. I find that very, very sad. It should be very easy for you to apologize. Act what
Those
you
are
meant.
crocodile tears, Congresswoman.
I'm very
He called them crocodile tears. Her son was murdered at 17. But the hearing wasn't over. Michigan Congresswoman Stevens had one more thing.
I got a copy of H.R. 944. Do you know what it is?
I
It's
can
your
Google it.
impeachment articles, sir. You have abused your office. You have gutted America's public health. Americans today are less safe under your watch. Children are dying of diseases that we thought we had eradicated. You can smirk, sir, but I answer to the people of Michigan, and they have told me you should be ashamed, you should resign, and if you refuse, Congress should remove you from office.
2 resignation demands, 1 impeachment article, and Kennedy just sat there and smiled. Democrats brought everything: the 25th Amendment, impeachment, his autism comments, the Kid Rock video. They called him unqualified. They told him to resign, twice. But here's what they didn't show you. Kennedy had answers for all of it.
The study is a garbage study. It should be retracted.
Part 2 drops tomorrow. Subscribe so you don't miss Kennedy's response.